On today's show, a new way of 3D printing that reminds us of the Terminator.
And Microsoft has a new way of logging in, and it's pretty cool.
And a robot that's gonna do your makeup for you. Or is it? It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm your host, Ashley Scala. Join me today, a very special guest, the excellent host of the Mutant Season podcast on the Nerdist Network, Gil. How are you doing, Gil?
I'm doing good, thank you, Ashley.
I like that you have one name. You're like Beyonce, Madonna, Hippocrates. Like, you're good. You just one name.
Well,
one name in
my
it.
last name is really long. I think it'd be too hard for people to say.
Just tell people you don't have a last name, so that people just know you as Gil. You are the only Gil.
Yeah, I am Gil, yeah.
The only Gil. And also a fine piece of currency in Final Fantasy games. Did you know that? The
I did
name
not know
of the
that.
money in that game is Gil. Pretty
Interesting.
awesome.
I've never played Final Fantasy.
Ooh,
well, I've tested it, but you know.
Very nice. All right,
Yeah.
we will get you into that. All right, so we have some really awesome stories today that we cannot wait to talk about. So let's hit the headlines. All right, so we both have seen this video. It's a little creepy.
In an interesting way, I have to say.
I think so, in an interesting way. So there's this company called Carbon 3D, and they're looking to redefine the way that we print things with 3D printers. So they have a new 3D printer that does things a little bit differently, and we have footage of this. So you can see there's a tray at the bottom of this. This is called CLIP, Continuous Liquid Interface Production. You're gonna see this thing magically almost pull a 3D printed sphere out of this liquid, which is crazy. It almost looks like magic.
Yeah, it does, and it's, according to this video, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's really
faster than we know, at least.
They're saying, I mean, it's sped up a little bit, but they are
Yeah.
saying it's 25 to 100 times faster than traditional 3D printing, which is really quick. And on top of that, all of the surfaces are smooth. So
Yeah.
with regular 3D printing, I mean, you've seen 3D printers. They're kind of
A bit off, I have to say.
A little
because
off.
They have layers, as we know, and these layers are always really rigid. Like,
Yeah.
most of the time, you have to sandpaper it for it to be smooth.
Yeah, exactly. You have to kind of sand it down, maybe paint it, things like that, sort
Yeah.
of smooth it out. This, not the case. So it's using resin, and here's how it works. There is a UV light underneath the machine, and that UV light actually plays almost like a movie of all the different layers that it needs to make in this resin. And then that movie with the light cures the resin inside the little tray. And so it kind of works like, like I said, the Terminator. It sort of just rises out of this resin goo, which is pretty creepy, but also really cool.
It really has to be Terminator. I can't think of any other analogies of it.
I think I would have really freaked out if they had done a 3D printer of somebody's like a little bust, like a little head.
Yeah.
That would have really freaked me out. I would have maybe been a little bit more scared.
Well, I mean, like 3D printing, they're probably going to start doing it as buildings and little building blocks of a building.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about doing buildings with 3D printing, so that is definitely something that they could look into. And like we said, this might actually revolutionize the way that they do these 3D printing for specific products. So they mentioned maybe doing tennis shoes. You might be able to actually, because this particular type of resin and the way that they print things, you could actually make things like tennis shoes and other products that maybe are a little harder to make with hard plastics.
Yeah.
This is something you might get a little elasticity out of, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would love to be running in shoes that were made out of resin.
Yeah, like 3D
Wooden,
printed.
yeah.
Oh, where'd you get your shoes? I 3D printed them.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's whatever. It's not a big deal. But they were 3D printed and they're made of science. You're welcome.
Another regular 3D printer, too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so tell me a little bit about Windows 10, because you said there's a new way to log in.
Well, Windows 10 has this new upgrade, and what it does basically is, as we know, we can finger scan to log into things. Well, they have this thing where you can scan your face or even the iris of your eye to log into your computer.
Whoa, that is legit.
Definitely.
So you'd be able to just we're looking at the video right now, and this is from Windows. This Windows 10. There is what we're looking at, the software, and somebody just sits down, scans their face. But I mean, like, how is this different than, say, an Android phone?
Well, what's cool about it is that the actual computer, it scans, and it can be under any circumstance. So it can be under different lighting, different with makeup on, anything really.
So it's using infrared technology.
Exactly, yes.
That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So this would make it a lot easier for people to log into their computers, like you said, if the light was really low, because I know I have a couple friends who have the face scanning login for their Android phones. It's really hard to do when they're at like a nightclub.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, I guess you're not going to take your laptop to a nightclub.
Yeah, I think you would have to be a bit crazy to do that.
That might be a little bit weird.
Yeah.
You're like, listen guys, don't worry, I got my laptop with me. I'm just going to play a couple rounds of League of Legends and then I'll go dancing. I'll start dancing with everybody.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
But I wonder, like, what if you're twins? What if you have a twin, like an identical twin with you?
I think you have to kill your twin. You have to just get rid of them.
Yeah, I know.
No, you have to ask them to get a haircut. I mean, how do you look different? Maybe you get Halloween, you get that little mask like with the nose and the mustache.
Well, then again, don't you think it might be able to scan through that too?
Oh, maybe, yeah. It might know your bone structure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't trust your twin. Maybe you really better trust your twin before using this technology. You just say, well, listen, maybe someday you'll be able to tell Microsoft, I have a twin, don't trust my face.
Well, I think that's definitely going to happen one day. It has to come out someday.
Yeah, so Windows 10 is coming out later this year. So a lot of people hopefully will be able to use this technology. They still need cameras that have infrared in them.
Yeah.
But I think Intel is making some cameras that have this technology that is called RealSense, which will allow people to do infrared scanning of their faces. But Kinect already does this.
Kinect does do this, yeah. If you walk into a room, it might be able to scan your face, even if you or not necessarily scan your face, but know who you are, and even it scans two QR codes. So for codes for games, codes for Xbox Live, any of that really.
Cool. So maybe Microsoft's bringing a little bit of that Xbox magic to your computer, which is kind of neat. Okay, so that brings us to our hashtag of the day, which is TD Hello. And I know that it seems pretty cool to log in with your face. That seems like a cool thing. But you guys are really clever. Everybody out there is super clever. And so we were thinking we would ask you, what is a much funnier way of logging in? Like, I think I would use my dog's face. Just hold him right up to the camera, and then it's like, oh, that's Jenkins. Okay, you're in.
I think it would be like a foot scanner.
A foot scan. That would be
scanning, yeah.
So awkward. Like you get up in the morning, you're really tired, you're like, oh, and then you have to like put your foot up to the screen. Just like, oh, that's your foot. All right, Gil, welcome. Welcome to Windows, Gil. The weird Cortana's like, hello, Gil, welcome to Windows. I see your foot hasn't changed. Hopefully you don't cut your foot though at the beach or something.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. You're gonna be like a foot model. You gotta take really good care of it. You can't get anything on it. You gotta keep it like covered. You gotta keep them safe.
Yeah.
It'd be really scary.
But then you would have to scan it through your sock too.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. I like that. It's like 3D scanning now. We got like X-ray scanning now. It scans through your socks. It checks out your foot, and it's like, all right, dude, you're good. You're in.
Check mark that.
Yeah, I like it. That's
seal
good.
of approval.
See the Gil seal of approval. We have the Gil seal of approval. Okay, last story is BeautyBot. This is really weird. It tricked me, I'll admit. I saw the video and I was like, okay, I kind of get this. Like, I love the Jetsons. I've seen the Jetsons a million times. I love when George Jetson gets ready on the conveyor belt and then all the robots do everything for him. There's a BeautyBot now to do my makeup. It's a machine from the University of Applied Arts in Vienna called Beautification. That's the name of this machine. And you can see it's as they're building it, it's got some mirrors. There's a spot for you to put your face. You lay your face in this little chin rest, and then there's a couple of robotic arms. One of them has a brush, a cosmetics brush, that dips into a little pot of black, and then there is another arm that is on a wheel that puts on your lipstick. It's a little motorized wheel. And then there's this weird fiber optics mask that you can like put your face into, but it's not supposed to fit anybody. But here's the thing. So we were watching this video, and this robot does a terrible job of doing your makeup.
See, I knew there was a catch to this. Like, there's no way, or at least now, that you could have beautiful makeup with a robot.
That seemed a little bit fishy to me. So we're watching all these people get black marks drawn across their faces in terrible ways. It doesn't look good at all. This is horrible makeup. But apparently this is on purpose. These are artists who made this machine. It's actually an art installation. And the project's creators think that machines, their idea of this was machines cannot pick up on the beauty of irregularity and asymmetry in human faces. So they wanted to show that in an art installation. installation, which is why they made this, so that a lot of people can walk up. I love that girl. She gets it, just like hits her right in the eye. And a lot of people can walk up and realize that maybe robots can't be made really to do everything for us, or maybe shouldn't do everything for us.
I mean, then again, humans were made so that we can have enough things to do by ourselves. I mean, we still drive by ourselves.
That's true.
Anyway,
Well, that's coming up.
too,
That's changing.
so.
It's all changing, which is crazy. But they were saying that, robots really can't appreciate the way that, the differences in everybody's faces. So it's like if I were to sit down and then my cousin were to sit down, or my sister, we would have totally different faces. Unless you were a twin again, in which case maybe you're all right.
Twins are really tricky, I think.
Yeah, I think, you can't trust a twin. Let's all be real.
Yeah.
We know. But yeah, so it's a really neat art installation. I thought it was a good thing to think about, because we talk a lot about robots on the show, and we love robots.
Robots are a thing of the future.
And they're a thing of now.
That is true, yeah.
It's pretty. We have one here. We have an actual robot living on our set. He doesn't leave, just like us. We don't leave. But yeah, no, we love robots. But it's also really important to remember that sometimes there are things that a human touch is really good for, and that, like, doing your makeup might be one of them.
I think I feel like that machine is really good for football players.
Oh yeah, okay.
That would be good, or like baseball players. I think that's the one thing it would be good at.
Put the black marks under your eyes. I really like this look. She's getting some blush done by that lipstick. It's just really terrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. So that's it for our headlines. We're gonna take a quick break. We have an awesome mod squad coming up. It's a speeder bike from Star Wars that is so cool.
If you're a fan of Star Wars, you're gonna love this.
Yes, and we have our user feedback, and of course our photographer of the day. So don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. Welcome back to the show. Once again, I'm here with Gil from the Mutant Season, a podcast that you can listen to right after you're done with this show over on the Nerdist Network. Really awesome stuff. We'll talk a little bit about it at the end of the show, because I was on the Mutant Season.
Yeah, she was.
And I enjoyed it greatly. But before we do that, we got to talk about Mod Squad. So we don't have a graphic yet. It's like Mod Squad. Like, I don't know. We just make up a little song there. But we want to talk about, on this show, we have shown you a Mod Squad for a Millennium Falcon drone, a TIE Interceptor drone, and now we're going to continue our Star Wars excellence by showing you a speeder bike with a scout trooper on it, which is kind of the best thing I've seen all week, really.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this. I should not be this excited, but I love this so much. And if I saw it at a park, I would run after it. Wait, come back.
And it's interesting. This is not really like any sort of like Star Wars creator, right? This is just
it's just the
an
guy.
old fan, yeah.
This guy. His name is Adam Wordsworth. I think I may be Woodsworth. I may have spelled that wrong. He really likes RC. He really likes remote control stuff, and he also really likes first-person video racing. So he actually does a lot of this like first-person video as he's racing these RC like unmanned aerial vehicles, stuff like that. And so he decided one day he just wanted to do this weird, crazy mod and made this speeder bike with a scout trooper on it. And that scout trooper's huge. And the cool thing is he carved out a space in the scout trooper's helmet and threw in a first-person camera. So it looks like a movie.
It really does. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't do this in Star Wars.
Well, maybe they will. Maybe they will in the next one. I'm waiting for an Ewok to like pop out from behind one of these trees and like throw a rock at this bike. Like and I want to see it. Where's the Leia? She's like running
where's
away.
Where's the chase? Yeah,
where's the chase scene? We need a chase. We gotta get a chase scene going on. So yeah, this is a Hasbro Scout Trooper, which looks large.
To me it looked kind of like an old one too, because most of them now are pretty small.
Yeah, they're like little 6-inch figures. This looks like a really large kind of 12 or maybe even an 18-inch figure. So maybe a 12-inch action figure, which is pretty cool. I love that he just kind of took the initiative to make this thing. It's pretty awesome. He also, if you would like to make one yourself, he has details. He put them up over on makezine.com, which is super awesome that he's sharing his knowledge with everybody.
I know what I'm doing when I get home.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you got the whole weekend to like work on it. So I feel like you might be able to get it done in a day. Like, you're a pretty smart kid. You're good with like tinkering with stuff.
It depends, but I mean, RC is awesome, so I would definitely be interested in this.
Sweet. Well, good job, Adam. We really like what you did with your delightful speeder bike and your Scout Trooper.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've talked about Mod Squad, that means we have to talk about what everybody else is saying. That's you guys about the show. It is time for user feedback. So yesterday we asked our viewers to talk about Nintendo. We told them to use the hashtag TDNintendo to tell us what new game they want to see on mobile from Nintendo, because now Nintendo's going to start doing some mobile games.
Yeah.
We got some really good answers. So Cosmic Discourse wrote in and said, a new Dr. Mario title might be a decent release. Have you played Dr. Mario?
I have not, but I've seen it before, and it seems pretty legit.
I think it would work really well with cell phones. Like, it's a little bit Tetris-y. You got like the little pills, match up all the colors and everything. I think it would be really fun. So yeah, I'm totally with you, Cosmic Discourse. Yes, we agree. David wrote in and said, I want Animal Crossing. Push notifications will help that game so much. I don't want to see Mr. Rossetti again. If you've ever played Animal Crossing, you know who Mr. Rossetti is. I agree with you 150%, because sometimes that game, it's like you log in after half a day and you have so many things you have to do.
My sister has the game. I created my own account on her DS.
Is it like, it's just, you never stop doing things?
I stopped playing for like a month, and then I get back on, and who knew how much mail you can get in a mailbox?
Yeah, you have so much mail. It's just, then you just want to quit, because you don't want to read all that mail. You're just like, oh, too lazy to do this. I don't want to read this mail. And then Ed Boss wrote in and said, I would like a Metroid platformer on Android. Now, here's a question. Have you ever played a Metroid game?
I'd say I have.
You have? Which one? Do you remember?
Don't
Maybe
remember.
Metroid Prime? One of the trilogy ones for the Wii?
I think it was, because I used to have a Wii. But I have to agree on that. I would love to see Metroid again. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that in a while. Yeah.
I think we all need Metroid in our lives. And I mean, really, how can you go wrong with a space bounty hunter named Samus Aran? I mean, it's a no-brainer. I don't understand why Nintendo just doesn't already have that out. And then lastly, Mr. Broken Edge over on YouTube wrote in and said, new games by their new IPs. So he wants like Pikmin Mini, or maybe a new Splatoon app that connects the in-game hub, stuff like that, And see, I agree with that, because there's a lot of newer-ish IPs. Like Pikmin isn't super new, but it's also something we only see Pikmin games. Like we don't see a lot of little extra things.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would really like to see maybe a little mini Pikmin game, or I love this Splatoon idea. Have you been following Splatoon?
I actually have no idea what Splatoon is.
Oh, okay. So
I do not.
It's a Wii U game, and it's kind of a shooter, but you're octopuses, like you're a bunch of little octopi, and you have to go around or squid, and you dive into ink, and then you gather up your ink as you're underneath, and then you pop up out of the ink and you shoot other people with ink, and then so you have to put all the walls in your color, in your team's color.
That sounds like an app game, honestly.
It's so much fun.
Sounds like it.
It's so much fun. I think you would really like Splatoon. You should look at the videos when we are done shooting the show.
Yeah,
but you would really dig Splatoon.
With a Pikmin game, I have to agree with that. I love Pikmin. I loved Pikmin.
What kind of game do you think you could do on mobile? Like where it would be, because there's a lot of controls in Pikmin where you have all the things going on. But what kind of little kind of side game? Is it maybe like a match game, or is it maybe a puzzle game, like some type of weird puzzle game that you could do?
That's a hard choice, because there's a lot of good ones that could have been an app game. Well, honestly, I can't decide. I think what would have been cool is like a shortened down version of like a Donkey Kong.
Oh, okay.
So that would like a lot less controls. So maybe the original Donkey Kong where Mario's trying to jump over the barrels and everything.
All right.
I think that would have been interesting. Just put the jumping and just the hit button. Honestly.
Oh, okay.
So
good. I like that. That's awesome. Some sort of like newish kind of modified Donkey Kong game. That'd be really fun. Okay, so we are done with user feedback, which means we're on our very last piece of user feedback, which is always our phone togger for the day. So this picture comes from Andy, and he sent this in, and he wrote to us and said, hey guys, keep up the good work with the show. Here are a few pictures I took with my iPhone. Have a good day. So he sent over a few pictures, but I chose this one, which is from the South Carolina State House. So this is in South Carolina. And we've been doing this thing where we decide maybe, like, this is a pretty good picture.
Yeah.
Looks pretty amazing. And he took it with a cell phone, which is impressive.
That is very impressive, honestly.
But what do you think could make this picture better? Like, what's the thing that you would put in there? Like, I said left shark on one of the last few pictures, but like this one feels like maybe something else.
You know what's funny? I don't know why. First thing that popped in my head, aliens. And abducting the house.
Aliens taking the statue and the building. I think that's a great idea. I like that a lot. I would like to see aliens abducting everything, but on the staircase, maybe Rocky being abducted. Like as he's trying to run up the stairs, he's getting
That's
abducted
funny.
too.
Yeah, that would be funny.
I like it because that's it's a staircase. Rocky likes to run up staircases. He's training all the time. He's always working out. So that's our phone togger for the day. If you would like to submit your photography to be considered on the show, send us a picture, send us a story, tell us what device you took it with, and email it to tomorrow@cnet.com. You can also send us story ideas, tips, tricks. You can send us pictures of your cat. I mean, whatever you want. We're down for it. We love reading your emails. We can't answer all of them, but we do read all of them. And if you absolutely hate email, if you're one of the kids and you live in a post-email world where email means nothing to you, we are on social media. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and Snapchat. We're Tomorrow Daily on all of those things. And if you are on YouTube, feel free to thumbs up us and subscribe if you really enjoyed it. You want to see more? And if you're on iTunes, hello, iTunes listener. You know the iTunes spiel.
I do, yes.
So what should they do if they're listening on iTunes?
Well, if you're listening on iTunes, make sure to check out my podcast, Mutant Season. It's free, so make sure to check it out. I would love the support.
Now tell people what Mutant Season is about.
Well, Mutant Season is basically where I have a guest, such as Ashley, who came on before, who have an interesting job, interesting thing, and we talk for like 30 minutes, and it's great. It's fun.
And like we said, Gil is literally more professional than I and Kale combined, so it's a really good listen, and we highly recommend it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I also, if I could have just say a quick thing about Xbox. Maybe last weekend, we had an Xbox party for Ori and the Blind Forest. It's a fun game on Xbox One, and I personally love it. So just go check that game out. It's really fun. I think anyone who loves a good puzzle game in a way, and a kind of action-based game, check it out, definitely.
We mentioned Ori and the Blind Forest last week when it came out, and we were so excited because I got to play it at E3, and
it's very fun.
It's super good. I know you guys had so he's part of the Nerdist Network. So Nerdist Network does a lot of their recording for podcasts at Meltdown Comics, which is right down the street. And they had an event there for Ori and the Blind Forest, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, there was two other games there too. If you know Scream Ride and State of Decay, which were there. It was a huge event too. We had special In-N-Out there. That was delicious.
Yeah, they had an In-N-Out truck, which I was a little bit jealous of. I was on the way back from the iPhone event, I think, when you guys were doing that, so I was a little jealous, but I mean, everybody got to enjoy In-N-Out, so how jealous could I really be? All right, cool. So, and you're also on Twitter. You're at the Mutant Season, right?
That is me. Yeah, make sure, please follow me.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Follow Gil. He's delightful, and you post up your podcast on Twitter.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't been on in a while. I think
you gotta get your tweet on.
Yeah, I do.
You gotta get your tweet on.
So I definitely do, actually.
Well, now you're gonna have to talk to all the nice people who are watching the show who want to tell you what a good job you did. All right, guys, and of course, you can always find me at Ashley Esqueda on Twitter. That is it for Tomorrow Daily. Kale will be back tomorrow. He is winging his way back as we speak to California from Austin, Texas. South by Southwest is over for him, at least. And he will be back tomorrow. But until tomorrow, be good humans, and we'll see you next time. Bye.